Hello, hi there, gorgeous Sagittariuses. I do hope that you are all marvelous and well. Welcome to my channel. My name is Bella, and most people know me as Bella, the Secret Psychic. And I am psychic, so I don't use cards. I converse with my spirit guides, as most of you know. And I also don't like to waste time. But very quickly, if you do like to know more about me, links are just down there. So, what is coming up in your love life that you need to be aware about to navigate through? So, firstly, I want to laugh a little bit, but it's not actually funny. And I want to laugh because of the other person's behavior in your connection that, as an outsider, seems amusing, but to deal with it will be incredibly frustrating, if not a little bit upsetting, Sagittarius is. So what I see is somebody romantically that you are involved with being like a child, like a small child. Like a 2-year-old. Imagine a 2-year-old who likes to draw on the wall, has bogies running down their nose, is all about them, will cry and have tantrums if they don't get their own way, maybe even be secretive. You have a 2-year-old that you are romantically connected to, or at least in the month of May, that is who they are. And it's amusing, like I said, for those reasons, but if you're a grown adult and you are dating, married to, waiting on a 2-year-old, it is not fun. And so they're saying that you're going to need a lot of emotional intelligence and a lot of strength this month to not put your 2-year-old in timeout. I like a lot of it because it pretty much, I'm not going to lie, lovelies, it goes through the month. It's like I know what, like if some of your parents, you'll understand, when you have a 2-year-old, they test boundaries. They want to see what they can get away with. So if I do, draw on the walls, is mummy or daddy going to tell me off? Or are they going to enable that and not say anything and let me get away with it, or actually reward me maybe for it? This person in your life, new, old, returning, doesn't matter. They are testing your boundaries. They're seeing what they can get away with. But also, I think they want to distract you from something else. They want your attention. Again, 2-year-olds, if mummy and daddy's not paying attention to them, then they will run around, make noise, throw tantrums, do things they're not supposed to. Why? So that they can get attention. It's still a form of rewarding. It's still negative reward. And it feels very, very much this person doesn't want you to do something else in your life. Like they don't want you to see your friends, or they don't want you to do an activity, or they don't want you to do something. And so overall, this behavior is a form of manipulation. It's a form of manipulation so that your attention is on them and not on perhaps yourself and any changes that you are doing to enrich yourself in your life. Maybe one would say they are jealous. They want mummy or daddy's attention. It is absolutely preposterous when I look at this. It seems barking mad, but I don't know. I've been a reader for a long time. I do know that people act in weird ways, and perhaps it's an astrological thing that is supposed to happen right now, because if you put yourself in the role of parent to this 2-year-old, what can you do to put boundaries? Because it doesn't actually have to be a bad month, Sagittarius is. Because if you can manage to control this or manage this behavior in this calm and emotional intelligent way, and also definitely not be codependent, like, okay, they're not okay, so I'm not okay, like don't do anything like that, then they won't bother you so much. They can't interrupt you so much, or they can't stop you from the other things that perhaps you had planned to do that were for yourself in this month. And I have to say, they try different things, because when I look at it week by week, and I'm not going to lie, you are stressed out about it. Like, it does bother your mind to try and keep this calm. I get pretty much the first week they seem to want to hold back things from you. So this could be holding back communication because they're not getting their way. or just being, you know, that silent wall of silent, like when you say you're okay and they go, yes, I'm fine, but they're not talking to you and you have no idea why. And then the next minute they'll be nice and offering you something, and then the next minute they're blowing hot and cold, and that could be very kind of like disconcerting. But it's taking you, it's giving the attention onto them. If somebody acts like that, you're going to be like spending your time going, what are they doing? What are they doing? Instead of doing the things that you should have been doing. And then I get second week, they change their tactics. Probably because some of you have seen this and you're just not going to take the bait. You're not going to take the bait when they behave that way. So think about these things I'm saying. How will you not engage with that? If somebody is not communicating with you, you could be drawn in, or you could just be indifferent and not take the bait, which means they're going to have to stop doing that. And it's probably also why they switch and try something different in the second week, because then I get them trying to deliberately cause arguments, tantrums, to bring your vibration to a low place. Again, it takes two to tango, doesn't it? It takes two to argue. You don't have to argue with them. You can choose to walk to another room, to not call them, to not do any of those things. And I think I have to say, even if somebody's returned into your life, like, and you would think if somebody's returning into your life that they would be on their best behavior, this person is not. It's almost like, well, I'm back now. Let me see what I can get away with. Why? Then I see third week, they tried to change their tactics again. And I tell you why, because I think in the third week, regardless of whether you've taken control in the beginning or not, I think by that time you would have had enough that you would disconnect a little bit and really focus even more on the things that you were doing. So maybe you've had a career change and it's really important and key that you have to spend a bit more attention there. Or perhaps you are, you know, I don't know, creating an art piece for something and it needs to be handed in, you know, by the end of the month. Of course, it's going to take your attention away from them, but they don't like it. Then I get you pretty much in the third week, regardless, putting much more of your effort in. And maybe, again, maybe because there is a sense of urgency for you to complete something. They, I don't know, the only way I can describe it is in the third week, they, or both of you maybe, decide that you are going to put either the relationship on hold or just less effort to put work in. You're both doing it. For the other person, that's their tactic, they think, to draw, if they, you know, if they again withdraw again and just don't give anything into the relationship at all, and they go and do their own thing, that perhaps you'll be like, what are they doing? Why are they doing their own thing? Perhaps you'll act like them, basically, which is where they're not seeing that you are, in this moment, much more emotionally mature than they are. Because you will do your own thing, but it's not for the same motives as what they're doing. Theirs is to get your attention, and it's going to backfire because it doesn't work. So no matter what, hopefully you guys will ignore them from the beginning. But in the third week, you definitely will, because I think you'll just be tired of it. I don't know, like some Sagittarius, depends on how long you've known this person, you know, and for some of you, it could be that there's other stuff going on, especially if it's long term, it could be there's other stuff going on for them that in this month they're feeling extra needy, and it's just coming out in this kind of childish way. But I don't know, for some of you where the relationship perhaps is brand new or they've returned, I don't think it's going to sit very well, and you might find that you walk away either the end of this month or even in June. But either way, I don't know, like by the end of the month, I do get some of you laying down the law, basically, by saying exactly what you think needs to be said in order to, I don't know, find a happy medium. And I think you'll be direct, like if this continues and I just don't think that we can be together, even if it's long term. Or you'll be like, what's going on? Why are you being like that? Can I help you with something that can resolve why you feel threatened by me doing this, or feel this need to have me with you all the time? I mean, the one thing that Sagittarius hates is being completely controlled and pinned down, and so you naturally will get to this place where you'll want to talk about it, but to also put your foot down and saying, because I need to understand why you're doing this, because I've it's making me pull myself away from you, which is not, good. It's not key. So I think with those of you who have had a long-term relationship, it feels to me that there is something going on with the other person that has triggered them. They're just highly insecure, and they just need to have need to get through this period, but also just some communication I think will eventually resolve this. But for others, you know, I think that they are in danger of losing you, is pretty much how my guides are alluding to this. They're pretty much alluding that the longer that they, it depends, because I do get, for some of you, it depends on the star sign, some of them are going to be really quite difficult. And you might find that you're walking away, especially if somebody new you're dating. Like, geez, definitely walk away, because there's something wrong with somebody if they're behaving like that when you first meet them. But whatever this is, my dears, the one thing you're not to do is take the bait. You need to remain strong. You need to do your own thing. Also, in this month, that is not taken away from the relationship. I don't get you being selfish in that regards. You just need to just, you know, find the balance. So I do hope that that's been helpful for you today, and you will take care.